Upgrades.
How's it going, Olivia?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What is that? Oh no, we can't do this interview. No.
People were asking me about him. People were asking if I had a Chucky doll, so I had to bring him over. And he
Oh
has to
my
be interviewed
gosh.
just as equally as me.
I feel like this is not gonna be an accurate interview because you're gonna be pressured to say things that's gonna be put in your ear. So I don't know. But
To
no,
make that up.
my name is Samuel Leggett with JVS Media and Productions. Congratulations on the second half of third season of Chucky. You guys are killing it. I talked to your co-host yesterday. One of the things I kind of wanted to talk around is the idea of the realistic aspects of what's going on with these kids. They've gone through so much loss, right? And when it comes to loss, it builds trauma. And on top of trauma, it becomes eventually you develop certain coping mechanisms, you get desensitized. But I think one of the reasons why Lexi can't do that because she doesn't have anybody to connect with. She has
Yeah.
them to be there with, but she's dealing with something very different because she does not know where her sister is. And because
Yeah.
of that, it's almost like this source, like she hasn't lost her sister, it's just in limbo. And I'm curious, is like, you do a really good job acting it, but I'm curious if you thought of the headspace of Lexi, what is going through her head on an emotional level? And then also, like I asked them, what are the ramifications of this long term for your character if you were really thinking about it?
Yeah, I mean, you just got it spot on. But no, yeah, I mean, especially when we were filming it, I mean, they've gone through so much. They've experienced so much in their lives, way more than any person ever should experience, even close to. And first of all, I think they need therapy. They need insane therapy, like every single day for hours. Um, but I mean, especially for Lexi, like she has been with Jake and Devin. She loves them more than anything. They're her family. But at the same time, they have this special connection that she just can't connect to them as much on because they have this romantic relationship and they're so in love with each other and they would do anything for each other. And just as much as they would do just as much for each other as they would for her, but it's just this like different relationship that they have. And she can't help but feel like a little bit on the outside of that. And I think that it's especially hard for her because every single time that she kind of finds that person that she feels like she can be connected with or, fall in love with or be a friend to her, or be somebody that will be there for her, they end up dying. And Dawn
Yep.
keeps doing this to her and keeps killing off her people. But especially with Grant this season, she she had a connection with him, especially because he knows what she's going through and
Mhm.
he's also experienced loss. He knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to lose a sibling in a different way, but knows what it's like to, not have that connection, and has kind of the same connection with his parents as Lexi did when they were still alive. The kind of like distance between them, and they're very similar in a lot of ways. And I think that she finds that comforting, but also is really scared to connect with anybody because she doesn't want to experience that loss again. I don't know if she feels like she's capable of going through that again.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of different things that she's going through, and I'm just hoping that if we get a season 4, she can just be happy for one episode. Literally just one episode is all I'm asking for. One episode, and then we're good.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to kind of harpen into like the negative side of it, but I mean, the truth fact of it is at a certain point, you reach a threshold and you just can't lose anybody else, right?
Literally,
And
yeah.
I mean, I kind of want to talk about the sister Caroline. It's kind of just like, I know that Lexi will do anything. I mean, she showed that in the last episode. Like, she's willing to let the world burn in order to
Yeah.
make sure she understands where her sister is and how to be there for her. But it's just interesting because if you go back to the first season, how she was just so absent from her sister, and now it's like the ramifications of that. And I feel like a part of that is also a little bit of guilt. And I was wondering if you kind of want to, I don't know, I don't want to dive into what I think it is. I was going to ask your perspective on what you
Oh
think.
my God, that's literally exact. You got it spot on. I mean, She kind of felt this kind of like jealousy of her sister in the first season
Yep.
because her parents gave her so much attention, and Lexi felt neglected, and she kind of envied her sister. And I think that in season one, Lexi hasn't experienced anything. Like, she is so like doesn't know what the real world is, doesn't know what the real world is past middle school. She doesn't like she hasn't experienced anything that like terrifying, or that, the loss, the feeling of the guilt. And when people in her life start dying and these crazy things start happening, she comes to terms with her own mortality, I think, a little bit. And I think she
Yep.
starts appreciating what she does have a lot more. And I think that Caroline is the perfect example of that, because in season one she could care less about her. Like, she couldn't care less. She was like, like, well, my sister, like, she doesn't care. But I think throughout the series we see, especially in season two, there's a few different scenes where she's like so worried about her because she feels this guilt for bringing this terrible thing into their lives, and she feels like
Yeah.
she's the reason that her mom died or dad died. Like, she's the reason for all of this happening. So if she can save her sister, her one last bloodline, her one last thing that she has, she will do anything in her power to do so. And she just really wants to bring her home. And I think that she also just really wants family. She has no family anymore. I mean, she has Jake and Devin. They have each other. She needs somebody. She needs somebody in her family to be able to have that connection with. And she wants that in Caroline. And she misses her. It's her sister. It's her little sister. I mean, I know that I would do that for my sisters. Like, oh my gosh, I would let World War III start for my sisters if it meant saving them. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so wild. And I mean, my final thing is, and you can be really short with it if you want to, is I know you can't tell me what's happening in the latter part of this season, but what is the hype level as far as us as fans? Like, should they be excited? Should they be terrified? What is your emotion that everybody should feel?
I'm a fan of the show now, and I am so hype. I am like the hypest I've ever been. I think the show is just like so much bigger and more terrifying, and the stakes are so much higher, and
Yeah.
everything is just huge. It's just the biggest the show's ever been. So the fans should be so excited for what's to come. So much is coming. So much is happening in these last two episodes. It's a roller coaster ride. There's so much to expect. It's the best two episodes, in my opinion, out of the whole series. Like, I'm so excited for these last two.
Wow, that is a tall order. Well, congratulations again, Olivia, for not just being in a third season, but being part of like horror history because of the show. So, congratulations. Thank you for talking with me. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a
Bye,
great
Chucky. Oh my God.
day. Bye.
Falling off the top of